Can't do that with a regular sized wagon. I had to come in at like a 45-degree angle through a regular sized gate. So not only does it need to be able to fit through a gate, but it needs to be able to fit through a gate rather easily, because you're not always able to just go straight through. Having a 36-inch wide wagon is perfect. I wouldn't make it any wider. If I was going to change anything about this wagon design, I would design it to have bench seats that are 2 inches taller to account for these 24-inch wheels, because we originally made this wagon and bench seats to accommodate 20-inch wheels. So I'd raise all of this, the support and the bench up 2 inches, so it'd be above this wheel, so mud doesn't get tracked up and rocks don't get tracked up inside. I'm trying to, and I used to have a little mud flap, like a plastic hard mud flap, that I cut the ends of it off and put it on top of this wheel well where the wheel is going up into my bench seat, to prevent the rocks and stuff from getting accumulated up there. But it didn't really work. It just got rocks jammed up inside the wheel well. So yeah, I would make these bench seats 2 inches taller to account for 24-inch wheels in the design, and then I would possibly make it 2 feet longer, because when you have your stove at the back end like this and the stovepipe going up, you can't put anything on the stove when someone else is sitting at the back seat, so to speak. But if you had an extra 2 feet on the length, then you could put your stove back there, and the top could be completely uncovered for you to be cooking or boiling tea or doing whatever you want on the stove while you have a second person seated right here. You're seated over there and your legs are faced towards each other, and you got your meal cooking at the back. How are you? You're fine, there's no cars coming. Sheeps.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Hopefully you can get all the other ones that are on the other side of this big guy.
I think I got some of them.
All right, have a good day. There are so many good dandelions. That's why sheep didn't follow me back here, because there's just so much good stuff up front. As soon as I unhooked them and they were hooked. So this is what I do regularly when I'm walking by awesome wild edibles. I chew a little quid that helps to brush my teeth, and it helps to give me the bitters and the alkaloids that I need to help balance my microbiome. I think one of the main benefits of eating raw leafy greens is their anti-parasitic value. I mean, chlorophyll itself, just chlorophyll itself, is anti-parasitic. A bunch of other things in there too. They're helpful for knocking down candida loads or knocking down parasite loads. I think it's all good in its proper amount, except for the direct poison, man-made stuff. But we've been eating plants forever. Just because we've recently discovered there to be some anti-nutrients in them doesn't mean we should just not be eating them at all anymore. It means that we should be basing our entire diets off of them. Eating poison hemlock. Goats and sheep can eat poison hemlock. You can't feed them only poison hemlock. That'll poison them. But they can eat a substantial amount. It doesn't seem to hurt them at all. Munching down this whole line. Good sheep. Yeah. I'm weirding out with the camera. Sorry. Good sheep. Eat that poison. Oh no, you just now saw the camera, huh? Don't be scared. Good girl, my happy girl. Good sheep. JC! JC says she's done. She's like, can we go somewhere else now? I'm done. I think I'm done. I've been eating here for probably only a half an hour maybe. Starting to slow down, are you? JC's going back at it. Good sheep. Happy sheep. Good sheep. Happy sheep. Good sheep. Happy sheep. Man. Oh, you're a good boy too. Yeah. You sit around, you just want attention. He's the big lover. She's just a big lover. She's like, give me more love, or else. Look at Happy. Look at Happy enjoying the dandelions. Rosie's got some cleavers. Rosie's rubbing her ass on JC's ass. That's hilarious. Alright, everyone's done. This is my favorite treat. Strained kefir. With a drizzle of pear syrup. So ridiculous. So awesome. Oh, so good. Look at that. I love not having a floor. I just dripped a drop of that drizzle. Don't have to worry about cleaning up. Oh my goodness. So rich. It's been one of my favorite things to eat over the winter. Keeping me warm. High fat. I actually like this more than I like the milk, the raw milk. And I have just a little bit of a sweetener with this strained kefir. It's like heaven. It could be a drop of honey. Honey's sweeter than this, so it takes even less honey. I bet maple syrup would be really good. I love maple syrup. So amazing. So amazing, so amazing, so amazing. And you will need a spray bottle if you don't have a pressure washer, manual pump spray washer like mine, because these are really hard to clean without water pressure. And they're really easy to clean with water pressure. Alright, there you go. And you don't need to worry about actually sterilizing it, because the kefir is it's the disinfectant. It's not disinfecting by decimating the microbiome. It's being effective against all other microbes by way of crowding them out for resources. So the kefir is so well stocked of microbes that any other microbes that it comes in contact with actually like battles them out. And so you just need to worry about getting the actual solids off, because the solids will age more advancedly than the rest of the newer batches. And there is a hump to this. It's about in the summertime. If you were to keep it out in 100-degree weather, it's going to go over its hump in a couple days. If you keep it in your evaporative cooler down to like 65 in 100-degree weather, then you'll have like about a week or two of a hump before it starts to. You'll be able to identify it too, because the main microbe that proliferates in this kefir is called Geotrichum. So yeah, the microbes in that family are prolific in kefir, and so as it ages, they just dominate more and more, and it ends up, this kefir, once it starts to go over the hill, so to speak, it will end up tasting like brie, and it'll actually break down and get runny like brie too. So and at that point, I really don't like it. When it starts to break down, it's too far gone. So that's over the hill for me personally. But other people would like it though. So yeah, that's all you gotta do to be able to live off of strained kefir, which I think is much more enjoyable and healthier than just living off the milk. More probiotics, less protein, higher fat ratio. If you got one of these pressure sprayers though, you can just pump it up a couple times and it'll do the same thing as what that squirt bottle did, but in a fraction of the time. Yep. All right. Now it's ready for the next batch. Next batch of kefir. See how it's going. Doesn't look like it's quite ready yet. Still runny. Gotta make sure it's thickened up. Let it breathe really well. Good boy. Yeah. So this meat ram here is still as skittish as can be. Just completely unpredictable. But it's just sad that I have to tether him every time we stop, because he's so skittish that if I'm at all in a hurry and I don't want to totally brown nose him in order to come up to him and grab his collar to put him in the yoke. He's difficult. I'm just now realizing that I don't need to actually tether. I don't need to actually catch and tether Rosie's lambs because they'll stay right next to her. I don't know why I didn't recognize that I wouldn't need to catch them each time and tether them on a split lead. Good. Sheep. Yeah. All right. GC. Sheep. How's everyone's butts? She's pooped. She said, I want to go outside. I don't want to go inside.